The doll in the attic. Lila had just inherited her grandmother's old house, a creaky Victorian manor on the outskirts of town. It had been abandoned for years, but she planned to restore it and make it her home. On her first night, as she sorted through boxes in the attic, she found it. A porcelain doll sitting in a wooden rocking chair. Its face was pale and cracked, its glass eyes staring blankly ahead. A faded tag around its neck read, "Emily." Lila chuckled nervously, thinking it was just an old toy, and set it aside. That night, she heard the chair creak above her bedroom. It rocked steadily, the sound soft but unmistakable. She tried to ignore it, telling herself the wind must have moved the chair. But the next morning, she found the doll in the middle of the attic floor, sitting upright as if it had been placed there deliberately. Over the next few days, strange things started happening. The doll seemed to move on its own. Lila would leave it in one spot and find it in another. Once, she swore it turned its head slightly when she wasn't looking. One night, the whispers started. They were faint at first, a childlike voice calling,
"Lila, come play with me."
She froze in her bed, unable to move, as the voice grew louder, echoing through the house.
"Lila, come play with me."
The next morning, she decided she'd had enough. She grabbed the doll, intending to throw it away. But as she stepped out onto the porch, she felt an icy hand grip her wrist. Startled, she dropped the doll, and it tumbled down the steps. From where it landed, the doll's head turned to face her, its glass eyes glaring. Its lips, once painted in a gentle smile, were now twisted into a sneer. Terrified, Lila fled the house, leaving everything behind. Days later, her neighbors noticed the rocking chair in the attic, moving on its own. The doll sitting calmly in its seat, waiting for her to return.